Hi, it's Jade Weber, and this is my famous birthdays Q&A interview from my own room. So welcome to my room, grab some popcorn, here we go. First question, what do you find most challenging about social media in today's world? So many things. There's pros and cons to everything. I would say, I love the fact that we all get to connect with each other and share, positive and negative things about our life, and spread awareness about a very wide variety of things. So, there's so many positive things, but I would say, I feel like social media, the fact that you can ruin an entire friendship from clicking the unfollow button is already very telling. Two, I would say the fact that it feeds into stereotypes. I don't think that we need more of that in this society. I think that, stereotypes are there for a reason. I think that as a human, they're kind of part of our protective system of our environment and everything, but then you kind of have to think, okay, well, can this stereotype be applied to the situation or should it not be? And I feel like sometimes people apply the stereotype without thinking through it, and then people get judged for no reason, and so on and so forth. I think that it feeds into a lot of pressure and unrealistic expectations of how to live life, and even for influencers, sometimes it can be really, really stressful. So I think those are just a few things that are challenging about social media. Second, who are your role models? I have said and will always say Taylor Swift. I literally love this woman. She is amazing. I love her. I listen to a lot of different genres. I listen to a lot of different artists. But as a person, as an artist, she would be my idol, as well as Michael Jackson. Absolutely Michael Jackson. The guy's a musical genius. To me, he is. He's just amazing. She's amazing. She's the full package to me. Not only is she drop dead gorgeous, but she's so the way she speaks is just so eloquent and smart and just so poetic. She's an amazing storyteller. So many things. I literally love her. I have a Taylor Swift wall right there in the mirror. You can see this. You see this thing? That's my Taylor Swift wall. And it has Polaroids from the 1989 album. But she would definitely be my role model. Question number 3. What advice would you give to your past self? I would say trust your gut. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. I have my flaws, I have my weaknesses, but one thing I'm really good at is my intuition. And I really should listen to it more often. But it's part of life, and I've grown a lot, and I've learned a lot of lessons from things that I've been through. And one of those things was to trust my intuition. So, I would say definitely trust my gut and go with the flow. I feel like I don't go with the flow enough. I'm a big overthinker, also kind of a perfectionist. So those two together, not a good clash, but we're working through it. Number 4, which one of your accomplishments are you proudest of? I've had people ask me this question before, but every time they do, I go blank. Because I feel like this is supposed to be an answer of an award that I've had, or a medal or trophy or something. And I feel like for me, when I think of an accomplishment, I'm a very I focus a lot on self-growth, and so I feel like a lot of my accomplishments that I'm most proud of are obstacles or things that I've been through in my life that I've come out stronger, or that I've learned, and I dealt with the situation in a very positive manner, and it turned out positive. And I would say that would be something I'm more proud of. My accomplishments, I have physical accomplishments that I am proud of, fears that I have, but see fears that I've kind of faced. I think this summer would probably be where most of that happened. But all of that is like all related to self-growth. So I think that my proudest accomplishments would be just in general things that I've been through, that I've, you know, expanded a more positive mindset and persevered through something, or really found like the light at the end of the tunnel and just learned a lot and decided. And here's one thing that I would like to say actually for my past self, for question number 3, is when you're put in a situation when there's really toxic people or whatever it is that you're in, when you decide to cut yourself off from that situation and you decide to learn, and it turns out you grew a lot, you've maybe become more mature, you've maybe just gotten your stuff together and you're thriving in life, it is not because of the people in that situation that you turned out that way. It's because you chose to turn out that way. They just gave you a situation and you dealt with it in the right manner. I feel like that's super important to say, because I've kind of hit a point like a long time ago in the past where I was like, oh, like this situation really made me who I am, but does that mean that these really toxic people made me who I am? No. They're part of my past and I won't deny that, but they did not make me who I am. So I feel like that's, I don't know, I felt the need to say that. Question number 5, who is one celebrity you'd like to collaborate with or spend the day with? Besides Taylor Swift, you ask? I would say Timothée Chalamet. Definitely Timothée Chalamet. I think we'd have a lot in common because we're both French American. I, for example, was not born in France. I was mostly raised in the United States, and so was he, but we're both French and we both speak it and everything, so I would say Timothée Chalamet. He's also so fun. He seems so funny. He's just like such a cool dude. Like, I want to spend a day with Timothy, absolutely. Question 6, if you could meet any 3 people dead or alive, who would you want to meet? Michael Jackson. I would really love to meet Michael Jackson. I also feel like he has a ton of advice. He would be so amazing to meet. Marilyn Monroe. There's so much mystery around Marilyn Monroe, and I feel like there's so much more than what like meets the eye, so I think Marilyn Monroe would be so awesome to meet. Can you imagine having lunch with Marilyn Monroe? Like, she could also give me some like style tips, because she had really good style. Like, I could use some of that. 3, Jennifer Lawrence. I'm gonna go with Jennifer Lawrence. She seems so funny and she's so good at what she does. Like, you watch her interviews, literally probably some of the most entertaining stuff I've ever watched. Just so fun. Like, she's so fun. She is so good at her work, and she just takes everything so like with so much like humor, and I don't know, like I just love her, and I would love to spend the day with her or even collaborate with her or anything. Question 7, what would be the one superpower you would choose to have? You know, I actually went to math class this week, and my teacher always asks us like a question, and everybody at your table like answers that question. It's just a fun, like something like this, like what superpower would you have? And she asked that this week, and I got some really good ideas from my classmates that I would have never thought of. I personally, the answer I always go for is anything to do with the mind. Reading minds, I could really use some of that sometimes, reading people's minds. Honestly, like, I would say being invisible too. That would be, like, can you imagine at like a concert, you could just sneak in, or if you like, you want to fly somewhere, you don't want to go through the hassle of like the airport stuff, just hop on the plane and go. One thing that one of my classmates said, which I was like, wait, that's actually really smart. She said, I could draw anything and it would come to life. And I was like, I would totally want a superpower like that. So I know you said one superpower, but I chose 3. Question 8, what is something most people who follow you don't know about you? Honestly, I feel like my character, like some of my personality. I post a lot of pictures. You can't really know somebody's personality. Like I have some fun pictures on there, which really like appeal to my, you know, goofy, silly, fun, like hyper Jade. But I don't know, there's different sides of me, and I feel like my audience probably should know more about my personality, but I feel like I've kept it private over the few years for whatever reason. And I feel like I've always been caught up with everything around me that I just never... When I was younger, I posted a lot of videos with my mom, and I think people like that a lot. So it was just me, in life. And it was just me in life with my mom and my brothers and my dog in the car, coming back from school or going to dance class or something like that. And it was always very raw, and I feel like I don't really do that anymore. And I am now going to pick that back up, because I remember I was on TikTok and somebody commented on one of my videos. They were like, I really loved your old videos when you were young. And I asked them which ones, because I wasn't sure exactly what he was talking about. And he was like, or I think it was a he or she, they said, oh, just the ones when you were with your mom in your car, like coming back from school. Just something so simple. So I'll definitely get back into doing that. And I feel like as you grow, like I'm in junior year, I'm caught up with so many school things that like I don't stick to simplicity as much anymore, because it's just so chaotic around me that like how can I live life so simply and like take videos where I'm just with my mom when like everything around me is kind of going crazy. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like as you grow up, obviously it gets just more and more chaotic. But I'll definitely take some videos. I have a ton of them on my camera roll. I'm gonna post them. Number 9, was there ever a time you wanted to completely quit social media? Yes. Yeah, multiple times. Some for different reasons. I think sometimes I've really questioned my future, and I was like, you know, when you kind of don't know what you want to do or something like that, and you just kind of start questioning if like you should keep going, like am I even gonna do this when I'm older, and da 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 da. And now I do it because really like social media is such a good tool for any work that you do. Especially if you're like an actress or a singer or a model or whoever. Obviously an amazing tool, but I think we're finding that people with many different careers, like you'll see on like TikTok, like there's a lot of like even like people who know how to play guitar really well, or the vocal teachers. There's so many vocal teachers on TikTok, and they just give their tips and tricks on there, and like that's, you know, another career that's not modeling or acting, and that's a really good tool for them to put out their work or like help people. I don't know, I find that really cool. But questioning my future is definitely a reason why I wanted to quit social media at some point in my life, way back. Also as like a model and as a young girl, I've had many comments that are very like gross. I'll just stick with that. And that like really just threw me off, and I was like, it really just threw me off, and it actually made me question quitting social media. But then I was like, yeah, but that's like 5%. Like literally 95% of the people are the sweetest ever, and it's just, we tend to focus a lot on the negative. And then I think weeks where I was so overwhelmed with work and with the 5 different lives that I have to balance, because I have a personal life and my personal well-being is super important, as is yours, and I have to balance that. And I feel like I've been realizing that a balance in my life is really needed. I think a balance in anything is really needed. So I've really been working towards that, and that includes a social life, and that includes my career, and that includes my school life. So it's a lot of things to juggle, and when I'm so stressed and I feel so much pressure, I just, like, I'm not somebody who gives up, but sometimes, man, I'm just like, I'm just really over it, and I'm like, I just feel like just quitting. But I haven't, and I will not. Question number 10. If you were stranded on an island and could only take 3 objects, what would they be? I'm gonna go with the life-saving stuff. I'd bring a boat, some gas, and a phone. Like, you'd think that I would say something like, I'd bring a picture of my mother with me. No, I'm bringing a boat, a gas, and a phone, and I'm getting off the freaking island. Question 11. If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Either crepes or cheeseburgers. Maybe crepes. The thing is, crepes can be sweet or savory, so you can have like your dinner and then your dessert, and that's like perfect. But then cheeseburgers, they have like all like the, you know, like your meat is your protein, and you have a bit of salad, just kind of like veggies, I guess, and you have your tomatoes. No, we're gonna go with crepes. We're going with crepes. I would choose crepes to eat for the rest of my life. Absolutely. Question 12. What are your favorite shows to watch on Netflix? I've watched Gossip Girl 2 times. It's the only show I've watched 2 times. I love Gossip Girl. Blair and Chuck forever, if you know who I'm talking about. I remember watching Pretty Little Liars. I really love that show. Lock and Key. Lock and Key is pretty new. I would say the first season came out maybe 1.5 years ago. They just released the second season, I think with COVID. Oh my god, there's a beautiful bird. And with COVID, everything kind of got delayed, I think, but they just released their second season. I've been watching and it's really good. So Lock and Key is a really good one. I haven't watched Squid Game. I feel like it's too out there for me. I might watch it one day, but I don't know about right now. Gilmore Girls. Okay, I finished watching Gilmore Girls like a few months ago. Love that show so much. Also Jess and Rory, but I really loved Logan and Rory. Both are good. I don't know, you choose. I was obsessed with Vampire Diaries. I cried when I finished the show. So much so that I dreamt about the characters like in my dreams, and that's never happened before. I had a really big emotional attachment to that show. Really good. Like, definitely recommend. Like, if you haven't watched Vampire Diaries yet, what are you doing? Go watch Vampire Diaries. It's amazing. 13. What is your biggest pet peeve? Honestly, I have a few, but I'll go with the first one that came to mind. People like chewing noises. And I don't mean like crunchy things, whatever, but like the like, I think chewing with your mouth open, the noise that makes, I cannot handle. That would be my biggest pet peeve. 14. When was a time in your life you felt like you were at a crossroads, and how did you decide what to do? I'm at a crossroads practically every week. No, every other day. Indecisive person. It's bad. Like, I'm really bad at making decisions. What do I do about it? I was actually in a crossroads yesterday. What I did is I defined my priorities. You can either go with defining your priorities, and if they're both your priorities, use process of elimination. And when I say use process of elimination, like if you're like me and you actually don't know what to do to the point where like you're making lists about it, yeah. Process of elimination, go like really deep down in the details. And if that doesn't work, flip a coin. And if that doesn't work, meditate and just have somebody ask you the question and say the first thing that comes to mind, and you'll have your decision made, or have somebody make the decision for you. Or if you flip a coin, like let's say like this, I don't know why I even have a coin here, like it's like heads or tails, right? Like heads, blah, 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 tails, blah, blah, blah. If you flip it and it lands on tails and you're not satisfied, that's because you actually want the other option. So there you go. I actually learned that from Andy Mack back when I was watching Disney Channel. Okay, last question. Number 15. What is your favorite birthday memory? This is so vivid to me. I would say Honestly, any birthday where I had a sleepover with all my friends at my house and we watched a movie or we went in the pool or the jacuzzi or whatever, or we cooked. I remember the only birthday I remember from like back when I was like 3. I lived in Singapore at the time, and my mom had like never baked a cake before. She baked me a cake and it was a castle, and it was a purple castle, and I can literally smell it right now. Like, this is how much of a core memory it is. I only remember looking at that cake, so I know that was a good birthday. But any birthday where it was just simple with my friends, watching a movie, going to play bowling, or going outside and playing hide and seek, like, as long as I'm with people that are good, I'm with people that I enjoy spending time with, that's the best birthday for me. So, yeah. That's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My Instagram, if you want to follow, is at Jade_Weber_official. My TikTok is Jade Weber official, and my Twitter is real Jade Weber. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you have the most amazing rest of your day.